The Dark Secret of Amara. Let's watch together and see what happened in this amazing story. In a small village called Umuibo, lived a young couple, Mr. and Mrs. Okeke. They were blessed with a beautiful baby girl and named her Amara, meaning grace. At first, everything seemed normal. Amara was a healthy baby who smiled a lot. But when she was about 6 months old, strange things began to happen around her. Sometimes, in the middle of the night, they would hear Amara laughing loudly when no one was playing with her. Other nights, they would find her staring into empty space, giggling as if she was seeing someone. Her mother would call her name, but Amara's eyes would look so empty and strange, as if she was not there. At first, Mr. and Mrs. Okeke thought it was just baby behavior. But when it kept happening again and again, they became worried. One day, the grandmother, Mama Ezi, came to visit. When she carried Amara, the baby screamed and cried terribly. Mama Ezi shook her head and said, "Something is wrong with this child. She is carrying a strange spirit." The parents laughed it off. They did not believe in such things. They thought maybe Mama is too old, but they were wrong. As Amara grew older, the strange things around her did not stop. Instead, they became worse. At 5 years old, she would stay under the mango tree for hours, talking and laughing with someone nobody could see. When her mother, Mama Okeke, called her to come inside, Amara would turn and say, "Mama, let me finish playing with my friends." Confused, Mama Okeke would ask, "Which friends, Amara? There is nobody there." Amara would point at empty air and smile sweetly. "Can't you see them, Mama? There are many." Fear gripped her mother's heart, but she kept it to herself. In school, Amara behaved differently from the other children. Sometimes, she would suddenly scream in the middle of class, covering her ears as if she was hearing loud noises. Other times, she would draw scary pictures, figures with big red eyes and long claws. Her teacher called her parents and said, "Your daughter is special, but we don't understand her." Her father, Mr. Okeke, believed she would grow out of it. But deep inside, he too was afraid. One evening, when Amara was about 8 years old, something very strange happened. The family had just finished eating dinner. Amara stood up, went outside and started digging the ground with her bare hands. She dug for a long time until her fingers bled. When her father rushed out and asked what she was doing, she simply said, "I'm building a house for my real family underground." Her parents were shocked and pulled her inside. That night, they did not sleep. Mama Okeke cried quietly while Mr. Okeke sat by the window, thinking deeply. Still, they refused to seek traditional help. They believed prayers and hospital visits would solve it. The doctors they visited checked her thoroughly. The hospital results always said the same thing: she is perfectly healthy. The pastors prayed and fasted for her, but the strange behavior did not stop. Slowly, the villagers started whispering. They said the Okeke family was hiding something. They warned their children, "Don't play too much with Amara. She is not like other children." Amara grew up lonely. She became used to talking to her invisible friends. Even at home, she spent more time sitting in dark corners, humming songs nobody taught her. Her parents loved her deeply, but they were powerless. What they did not know was that the spirit inside Amara was quietly getting stronger, preparing for the day it would fully take over her life. When Amara turned 18 years old, a new side of her began to show. Physically, she was tuning. tall with skin as smooth as fresh peeled yam, and eyes that shone like stars. Boys from the village admired her. Young men sent gifts to her parents, hoping to win her heart. Even old chiefs joked about marrying her. But under that beauty was a deep darkness. At first, it was little things. She would forget people's name. Even if she had known them all her life, she would stand still for hours, staring into nothing. She would smile at people without blinking, making them uncomfortable. One evening during the New Yam festival, something shocking happened. The village square was filled with drums, laughter, and dancing. Everyone wore colorful clothes. Amara was among the dancers, moving gracefully. Suddenly, in the middle of the dance, she fell to the ground and started crying like a snake. At first, people thought it was part of the dance, but then she began hissing, her tongue moving like a real snake's. The drummer stopped playing. The dancers rose. The villagers watched in horror. Amara spoke in a deep, unhuman voice. "You can't hide. I am here to claim what belongs to me." Then she started speaking strange languages, words no one had ever heard before. The women screamed and carried their children away. The men dragged her home, tying her with ropes for safety. For days after the incident, Amara behaved like a wild animal. She would not eat regular food. She would only chew bitter leaves. She would laugh in the middle of the night, making threatening noises that kept the entire village awake. Rumors spread like wildfire. Amara is possessed. She is a child of darkness. Maybe her parents offended the gods. Children refused to pass her house. Pregnant women avoided her completely. Even her own mother slept with one eye open, afraid of what her daughter might do at night. Then the death of animals began, one after another. Goats, chickens, and dogs that crossed Amara's path died without any wounds. Farmers said their crops dried up if Amara walked near their farms. The elders knew they could not stay silent anymore. They gathered at the palace of Chief Obiako and agreed, "We must find a solution before the spirit inside Amara destroys the whole community." That was when they decided to bring in Dibia Ogbonna, feared traditional healer they knew. One night, Chief Obiako sent for Dibia Ogbonna, the most powerful native doctor from the neighboring village. They explained everything to Dibia Ogbonna. "This is not ordinary madness. This girl has been possessed since she was a baby," he continued. "Her parents should have acted fast when the signs first showed. Now the spirit is strong inside her." He warned them, "If we don't act quickly, the spirit will soon use Amara to cause death and destruction." Villagers agreed to hold a powerful cleansing ceremony. The next full moon night, the villagers gathered at the village square. A large fire was burning, drums were beating, and Dibia Ogbonna sat in the middle, chanting and preparing his charms. Amara was brought forward, tied with strong ropes. She was laughing widely, her eyes shining red like a cat in the dark. The Dibia began the ritual. He sprinkled her with sacred water, chanted powerful words, and struck the ground with a charm. Suddenly, Amara screamed so loudly that the whole villagers trembled. The evil spirit inside her spoke through her mouth, saying, "She is mine. You can't take her away." The Dibia did not stop. He continued till Amara collapsed. After several hours of chanting and prayer, Amara lay quietly, breathing softly. The Dibia stood up and said, The spirit is weak now, but not completely gone. She needs to be purified for 7 days. Amara was taken to the special shrine deep inside the forest. She was given special herbs to take. She was not allowed to eat normal food, only herbs and fruits. Every day, Dibia Ogbonna would visit her, chant prayers and perform rituals. Sometimes Amara would scream and fight. Other times she would cry like a lost child. Slowly, she began to change. Her eyes became clear again. She started talking normally, remembering things she had forgotten. After 7 days, she was brought back to the village. The villagers gathered again at the village square. Everyone was afraid, but also curious to see if the evil spirit was truly gone. Amara stood before them, calm, quiet, and humble. She knelt down and said, "I am sorry for everything I did. I did not know what I was doing." The villagers forgave her. Her parents hugged her and wept for joy. From that day, Amara lived a quiet and simple life. She helped old women fetch water, taught children how to read, and attended church services every Sunday. The villagers slowly began to trust her again. Amara's story became a strong lesson for the people of Umigbo. They learned that when a child shows strange behavior, it is not always ordinary. Sometimes spiritual problems are rare and need to be addressed early. The elders would often tell young couples, "Don't ignore signs. When you see strange things, seek help immediately." Even Amara herself would go around speaking to young girls and boys. Be careful where you go. Be careful what you touch. Evil spirits can enter through small doors. Years later, Amara got married to a humble farmer, Chinedu, who loved her deeply. They were blessed with 3 children. Amara lived a happy and peaceful life. Sometimes when she told her story to her children, they would cry and hug her. She always ended by saying, "There is no darkness that light cannot overcome. As long as you believe prayer and live right, no evil can destroy you." And so the dark story of Amara, the girl once possessed by an evil spirit, turned into a beautiful story of hope, courage, and victory.